What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We out here about to take a look at this band called Benthic Realm, okay? And they got an album called We Will Not Bow and a song called Save Us All, okay? Now, this was one of the lesser known songs, right? It only got 357 views, so see if we can punch that up and go ahead and give it a listen. I do have the lyrics here on my phone, so we'll be glancing at those from time to time. We're gonna go ahead and shut up and turn it up. Baby. Before we jump straight into that second chorus, so that intro, for some reason, I felt like it was setting me up for like more of a speedy, but it was kind of gave it more of like a breakdown, which is nice, right? Because this is completely headbang material type of music, right? Now, when I go and talk to the lyrics, because she was talking about, times is smoke and mirrors, mankind will burn. So, mankind, we're burned to ourselves, blind, we feel invincible. So basically, we're pretty much destroying ourselves in the pursuit of perfection. That's what I'm getting just straight off that. And then the second one, full of splinters, was like full of splinters, like full of issues, errors from the everyday things that we do, right? Fractured to the core. So let's see, we buried the one thing that was bound to save us all. So full of splinters, meaning when you're moving wood or whatnot, and you get all these splinters. If you don't tend to them and like immediately, or not necessarily immediately, but in a good amount of time, it can cause not permanent damage, but further damage than if you had just check them out earlier than you should have. So when they say fractures to the core, because of you're full of these splinters, you burn everything down. It's almost like you're destroying like the fundamentals because you didn't take care of the errors that gave you the splinters and begin with, right? Okay. The song's about the human race. So just going off what we heard, right? Right before it began, you can kind of hear how it do, and it speeds up. So when I go back and I start thinking about kind of like what these lyrics are talking about, I'm thinking like what we've buried the one thing that was bound to save us all. I'm guessing you're kind of getting rid of like almost like the human, like the human spirit, right? You're moving more towards Optimus, right? And the human spirit, the resilience and everything, the hopefulness, that type of stuff is the type of stuff that'll save us all. So when I think of that and I listen to the solo that we just heard, it's kind of like the first part of it was like, this is kind of giving me the idea of like the human spirit. And then when it goes, that's when things are just getting muddied. When you're walking up the stairs, there's a certain cadence, right? But if you go tripping down the stairs, it's right? And then so that's the background, kind of like you get up and you fall and then you get up, and then the guitar, the guitar solo that's going on is pretty much telling a story, pretty much of how these things are happening, right? Especially towards the end when they start getting rid of some of the quick notes and start doing the elongated notes, right? And I've said this in my other videos, when you're doing elongated notes, those are the type of notes that, when you hit it and you just let it swell, those type of things that kind of invites that sorrow and kind of like that rage and everything. Well, not necessarily rage, but like sorrow and pain versus quick notes, which is like really, really rage. So we got the rise and the fall is what I've heard in that guitar solo, in the guitar low. And then we had the story of the in-betweens of rising and falling. Okay? Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now. Okay. But we still got a little bit more to go. We got another 3 minutes. Like this. Vocals, man. Man. Okay. All right. So All right. How was it expected at the end? Okay. Yes. This kind of, I swear, if Thanos had a theme song, this would pretty much be it. Like you can recite these entire lyrics to Thanos, and he'd be like, yes, that's why the human race or all the races needs to be cut in half, because all they're doing is sitting there and destroy themselves. So just picking off on what we said, from the last lyrics that we did, war is part of human nature. Control can't stop the killing machine. Greed, we feed on power and wealth, raise whatever stands in our way. It's the consistent pursuit of power and everything at the expense of our own soul, if you will, right? Of human nature, right? Consume until nothing's left, into a massive waves of death, right? Because of course, the more you consume, if you're not necessarily leaving the place better than you found it, all you're doing is leaving a wasteland, and you're not knowing that some of that stuff that you took from actually needs to be somewhat preserved in order for you to kind of like live a better life in the future, if that kind of makes sense. So we're always consuming, right? And then when massive waves of death, right? Because we're killing things as we're moving forward. Erase all things that flourish here, right? Because you're destroying a place instead of leaving the place better than you found it. You're destroying it, and then waste, destroying all in our wake. So pretty much, if you had a land, you're destroying it because you're ravenous, right? Consumeness. Now here's what's very interesting. When she starts saying rewrite, right? And I was looking up the definition because I didn't have it off the top of my head, but it says to make continual twisting, squirming movements, or contortion of the body. Now, let's think about how they just slowly brought it down at the end. I mean, we talking down and dirty grunge, right? And when we think about the word writhe, right? Think about it. If me on this video, if I was to take my arm and I was just to twist it and keep twisting and keep twisting it, what kind of emotions would that pretty much make you feel? You know what I mean? And that's what we got when that guitar and that drum that starts slowing down, just because this is a horrendous act. It's not something that's nice to look at. Some of you guys might even throw up. So you think about this word and you think about how you're going to communicate this audibly, right? And that's what it's going to sound like, right? Because it's a horrendous act. It's just that last part right there just really, really sold it. Now, the drums at the end, now, I might be kind of tripping on this, but that kind of gave me more of it kind of have like a tribal feeling, but it almost kind of reminded me of like a cadence, if you would, right? Kind of like a marching cadence. I could definitely see that same rhythm played on snares and the bass drums, and then the tenor drums. The tenor drums, right? It's almost as if it's a march to death, right? Because something that's marching, you're going one way and you aren't really going backwards, right? You're just marching on, just destroying everything in the back. That's what was interesting about that last end of the drums. Like, this is just something that's just going to continue on and continue on and continue on. So it gave you a kind of idea of a cadence, right? I don't know, man. This is a whole lot to break it down. But if I was going to sum it up, I would say that this was more of a like the human nature or the human spirit, or us as the human race, always having a need to improve. But throughout that action of improving, we're destroying everything around us, including ourselves. And when in the end, when they say we rise, we're pretty much destroying ourselves, right? We're contorting. We're twisting our body parts and pretty much, in a figurative speech until it's like no more, right? That's what I think that this song's about. But like I said, when I do these breakdowns of these songs, I can be no further from the truth, but it's still a lot of fun to try to figure out some of this. But this is a pretty good song. That last ending definitely is what took it. All right, y'all. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.